All right, welcome to Friday Night Live. Pep Man Matt Morrow, Shaw Football Insiders. We have reached the end of the regular season. Tonight, we saw, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of scores tonight. Tonight, and I usually do this, once a year. Oh, and I say once per season. I take a week off, and being Booster Club president at Harding, I do some Booster Club things, and that's what I did tonight at Harding. Um, Met a lot of nice people. Harding alumni. It was homecoming, also senior night, and it was pretty cool to kind of step back and do the stuff that I do usually the rest of the year, with the Booster Club. And we had a very generous donation given to the Harding Booster Club tonight by Belk Incorporated. And one of the things that they really believe in is equality and equity. It's one of their company tenets. And one of the things they really wanted to do was show that they are a big part of this Charlotte community. And with that donation to Harding's Booster Club, it was an incredible gesture. Um, we were floored when we learned that's what they wanted to do, and it just shows that there are really still good people out here, good companies, and Belk is definitely wanted to be a big part of giving back in its local community of Charlotte. So once again, thank you to Belk for that incredible generosity to a place, like I said, with Harding, where it's really needed, and that money will go a long way for all of our athletic programs. All right, so that being said, I'm going to go to the scoreboard because I don't know any scores. Except for a couple here and there that I've been tagged in. But I really don't know what happened tonight. So I'm counting on you guys to give some comments while I pull up the scoreboard and see what happened tonight and give, my thoughts on it. Let's see here. So before I go there, in that game, South Meck and Hardy, South Meck, really came out and played really well on offense from what I could see from my vantage point. They had a lot of big plays. The defense, created turnovers. And I mean, it got to, I think it was 48-0 at halftime, and it stayed that way second half with the running clock. And, it showed they're ready for the playoffs, plain and simple. And they're going to be a team that nobody wants to see. I think they really worked on their passing game tonight to complement the run game they have with Jacob Newman and those guys. And they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous when they, start the playoffs next week. And it'll be real interesting to see where they're seated. Because RGK did win the conference based on the RPI ranking with a win over Barry. So they'll have the number one seed out of the SOMEC. And then Myers Park defeated Olympic 14-10. I did see that score. I was tagged in that one. So that's a big win for them. And we'll see if Olympic is able to get in or not based on that result. All right, so we do have some comments here. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the kind words right there, man. Yep, as I mentioned, RGK 49, Barry 7. Great job. Winston, Tyler, how about them Richmond Raiders? Well, I'm assuming Richmond won tonight, so Winston, you can give me a score. I appreciate it. Charlotte loves to hate small-town Richmond Senior High School. Nah, not this guy. Not this guy right here. Pre-COVID, this guy right here went down to Richmond, interviewed Coach Till and those players that they had. So I am not a Richmond hater. Not at all. I've been there a couple times. Been there when they played Huff a couple years ago. Been there when they played, when they was still Vance. I think that same year, actually. So, hey, I love Richmond. Love the light show. All that good stuff, man. So this guy in Charlotte, not a Richmond hater. Thank you, Winston. Appreciate you watching, man. Throw that score up there when you get a chance. Excuse me. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it, man. Oh, now there was an interview, and they said it was going to be on Channel 9 News at 11. It slipped my mind. I hadn't had a chance to. I probably was looking crazy, but appreciate that. Oh, wow. Hold on. What? 47-0? A.L. Brown beat Concord? Wow. Good gracious. Now, I can honestly tell you, I'm shocked. I don't think anyone expected that tonight. Usually the Bell game, no matter what the team's records are, is a pretty good contest. But wow. I think A.L. Brown was fired up. Obviously. Good gracious. Let's see. Chris Hagler, Hickory Ridge 47-6 over West Cabarrus. Great job. Outright conference championship. I did see the video of Coach Wilson after the game with the championship belt. That was awesome. That was awesome. That's what high school football is all about, man. That kind of passion and love. And I love that. I loved it. It's good stuff, man. EJ, Mountain Island 34, Lake Norman Charter 29. Mountain Island going to 9-1 on the season. And EJ, once again, I appreciate you, man. You know what I'm talking about. That all came to fruition tonight, and I definitely appreciate what you did. Really do. All right, Coach Akers over at Chambers, 32-7, school up the street. That's another good one for Chambers, man. I think a lot of people have, and I say this, and maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like some people have forgotten about Chambers. I think, and it's crazy to say, but I think quietly they have been tuning up for the playoffs, and I've seen that offense put together some big numbers on the scoreboard the past couple of weeks, and tonight with a defense with another good effort. So that's going to be obviously another team you don't want to see, especially early in the first round. They're going to be a high seed despite being a number 2 or actually a wild card or whatever they are. They're going to be a high seed and possibly get 2 home games, before they have to go on the road. So good stuff. You're right. You're absolutely right. But hey, without them, what would a high school football be, man? You gotta love the passion. You gotta love it. Jordan, what's up, man? I think I did see y'all won. I didn't see the score, but congratulations to South Point down in Rock Hill Region Championship. They're highly ranked down there. I think they're still number 2 in the upstate 4A poll that I saw. They'll go into the playoffs with a high seed and ready to go, man. All right, now here's that Richmond score. 48-21 over Scotland. I know that feels good. That is a heated rivalry down there, down east. So good job to the Raiders, and they're going to be a team that nobody wants to see in the Eastern bracket either. That's for sure. My buddy Phil Johnson, 27-0. J.M. Robinson beat Mount Pleasant for the conference championship. Coach D-Rob doing an awesome job getting that shutout in a conference championship victory. That's awesome, man. They're in 2A, and they're going to be really, really dangerous. I mean, that's a dark horse title contender in 2A for J.M. Robinson. They really got it rolling, man. That's awesome stuff. All right, Coach Hart, we're at Olympic. Best fundamentally sound defense in the state, falls short. Myers Park over Olympic, and that score, Myers Park 14-10, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, you look at Olympic, 2-point loss to South Meck, 1-point loss to AK, 4-point loss to Myers Park. Definitely deserve to be in the playoffs. Yep, I just said it, Coach. I just said it. Those top 3 teams in the SOMAC deserve to be there, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. It's all about numbers and formulas now, so we'll see, man. All right, Mr. Hall, West Charlotte 38, North Mac 7. Man, West Charlotte tuning up for the playoffs, man. Big win. Big win. I thought that game would be closer. But great job to the Lions, man. They're showing, they plan to be a force in the 3A bracket and coming strong, man. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. All right, rest of the scores tonight on the scoreboard. As I said, South Mac 48, Harding 0, Argykill 49, Berry 7. Providence 38, East Mac 0. In this game, Luke Bailey, let me pull up his stats here, because Luke Bailey, usually at receiver position, playing running back tonight for Providence. And I got his stats from Coach Ward, and I was tagged in on Twitter. Let's see, 19 carries for 271 yards and 4 touchdowns. Big Providence offensive line going to work, man. East Mac had 57 total yards and -7 yards rushing. So, hey, Providence in the projection gets into the playoffs. So, I think they're going to be there. Good job to the Panthers, for sure. Let's see, Huff over Hopewell 58-0. They are showing they're ready. We talked about Chambers over Mallard Creek already. Butler over Independence 42-13. The Queen was at that game. She got an interview with a young man that had a pick 6 in that game. I believe it was Miles Lawson. I hope I got that right. Butler, that game was close for a little while, but then Butler pulled away in that traditional rivalry they have in between Mint Hill and Matthews. Mentioned Myers Park over Olympic 14-10, and we just mentioned West Charlotte's victory over North Met. Porter Ridge 35, Sudden Valley 9. Porter Ridge securely in the playoffs, ending their regular season on a nice victory. Wild one in Cabarrus County is Central Cabarrus over Northwest Cabarrus 51-49. Good gracious. Man, 100 points between both teams. Scoreboard operator had a busy night there. Ashbrook, I believe that was the Battle of the Bell in Gaston County over Hunter Huss 21-6. Shelby over Burns. Wow, close game, 16-14. Both teams will be ranked pretty good in the 2A playoffs come tomorrow. East Gaston big win over Highland Tech, 52-0. Charlotte Christian over the traditional rival Charlotte Country Day, 28-0. There we go. Oh, Providence Day. Providence Day, big win over Charlotte Latin, 42-7. Conference champions. I'm not going to say I told you so, but the talent of those kids and Coach Greer came together at the right time and started shining at the right time. You may see this matchup once again in the NCISAA Division I playoffs starting next week. Weddington, big Union County victory over Marvin Ridge, 23-18. They win their conference with that victory. Marvin Ridge will go in as a number 2 in the playoffs out of that conference. Great job to both of those teams, and they'll both be dangerous moving forward. Clover over Nation Ford, 18-15. Cuthbertson ending their regular season, 45-19 victory over Piedmont. They were in the playoffs in their projection. Hopefully that holds true. Indian Land, 48-6 over Lancaster. Gaffney big over Fort Mill, 48-14. Metrolina Christian moving to 9-1. Great job by Coach Langley and those guys, 34-20 over Wake Christian. And the traditional Rock Hill rivalry, Northwestern big over Rock Hill, 50-7. South Stanley over Union Academy, 27-18. Monroe still rolling, 38-9 over Forest Hills. Mentioned South Point's victory, 29-0 over York. Shutout. You gotta love that, man. Donut party. Robinson, 27. Talked about that. Mount Pleasant, nothing. Talked about Mountain Island, 34. Lake Norman Charter, 29. Mountain Island, 9-1 on the season. They'll go into the conference as into the playoffs as a 1 seed in the split 1A, 2A Catawba Shores Conference. Congratulations to Coach Washington and those guys. North Lincoln over East Lincoln, 37-14. Turville gets in the win column, 23-6 over Bessemer City. And let's see, Community School. Oh wow, we talked about this game. Community School of Davidson over Pine Lake Prep 7-6. Man, Community School of Davidson wins the conference outright. We expect Pine Lake to make the playoffs still, but Coach Trotter, he was close, man. He was close to making it at that three-way tie we talked about on. I forget what show we talked about that on. We definitely talked about it. Carson 42, South Rowan 21, West Rowan 40, East Rowan 7. St. Stephen's over Fred T. Ford 40-10. Thomas Jefferson big over Carolina Bearcats 43-12. Talked about Hickory Ridge winning their conference 47-6 over West Cabarrus. Big one, Mooresville over Lake Norman 14-0. Mooresville gets the number 2 seed out of the Greater Metro 4. An automatic bid will be in the playoffs. I expect Lake Norman to be there as a wild card as well, but that is a great victory and definitely big-time bragging rights for a year up in the north. Another conference champion, Crest, over Kings Mountain. Big battle in Cleveland County. The other big battle in Cleveland County, 42-20. Mari Adams for Crest had another big game running the football. So Crest will go into the playoffs as a 1, and Kings Mountain will go in as a 2 out of the Big South 3A conference. Cox Mill, an overtime victory over South Iredale, 29-22. Congrats to Coach Baker and the Chargers. Forest View, big win over Stuart Kramer, 28-18. That's going to solidify Forest View, I think, getting into the playoffs. They were in the projection. Stuart Kramer was also in the projection, so hopefully both teams hold true to that come tomorrow. South Point big over North Gaston 49-14. And we mentioned A.L. Brown 47, Concord 0. Finally, West Stanley over Anson 21-7. So, great stuff. And we got some more comments here. Coach Parks, how about them Lions? Dub seed, number 1 seed in 3A, here we come. Home field advantage. Well, it'll be interesting to see where you guys are seated ultimately in the bracket, but definitely probably a couple of home games if you keep advancing. Over at Waddell, formerly Waddell High School, where I coached for 2 years. Good stuff for the Lions. Great job, man. All right, Scott Curtis, I'd be remiss not mentioning congratulations Coach Jocham and the seniors on their 4th straight conference championship. Coach Jocham can coach, man. He can coach. I remember the first time I met him. I remember he was defensive coordinator when I was at Myers Park, coaching quarterbacks and running backs. And I told him, I said, hey, we went to RGK, and that was probably the second toughest game we had that season, just from a scheme and game plan standpoint. That guy can coach some defense, for sure. Doing a great job. Let's see, Mr. Tyler, what are your projections on top 4 seeds on West and East? Well, right now I couldn't tell you. There's maybe some statistical people out there somewhere putting in all these results and trying to figure it up and post it somewhere. And by all means, if I could find it, I would share it with y'all, because that's not my strong suit. My strong suit is analyzing the matchups once they're there, and that's what our team loves to do. So, top 4 seeds, anyone that won a conference, they're going to be highly ranked. You can put it together, man. Conference winner plus RPI ranking. Anyone high in both, they're going to be a top 4 seed. That's all I got. I wish I could go deeper on Friday Night Live, man. I don't have much left. All right. Yep, Gary, we talked about that just a couple minutes ago with Mooresville over Lake Norman. Joe Hughes, Crest, 435 rushing yards. Yeah, and I saw Adams had a big game, but great team effort and controlling the line of scrimmage right there. That's huge. Oh, Miss Burlos, it's okay. It's okay. we're all here together. That's all that matters. Yep, South Make did finish 8-2. They look good from what I could see tonight over at Harding. Um, what money, Joe? Did you pick a game right or something? I don't remember. You gotta tell me what that's about. And James Holland, yes, shout out to Providence Day, big time win over Latin. Happy for those guys. There's a lot of talent on that football team, and we'll see where they go in the playoffs and see if they can keep that going over the next couple of weeks. All right, so tomorrow brackets come out. We will have a bracket show Saturday evening at some time. Once they're finalized, then we've got people available if they want to come on. I'll give the team a chance, if they want to come on and do the analyzing the bracket show. What we'll do is we'll have the brackets up. We'll talk through the matchups, and we'll go through pretty much all of them. This is when we pretty much focus on the western part of the Charlotte metro area, but this is where we get to expand a little bit. And the only reason we don't do the whole state, we don't have enough time. I mean, I just believe in going, a little deeper about things, and in order to do that with the whole state, we would probably have to have a whole more deeper show, probably 2 hours longer than what we got. So, I'd rather give you more quality than quantity. That's just my opinion. So, but we'll get to do that a little bit with these brackets in the playoffs and all that. So traditionally, the first preliminary brackets get released early afternoon, and then there's giving a probably 2 to 3 hour window for coaches across the state to verify everything that's released on the bracket. Some coaches will catch errors, and they have time to contact the NCHSAA if they feel like there has been an error in their seating, or if they didn't get in and they felt like they should have got in, they can call and get an explanation on that. That's what that time is for. And then once the brackets are finalized, then we're good to go. So our show will not happen until the brackets are finalized. A long time ago, when I was at Carolina Varsity, I think I did a bracket show, and they were based on preliminaries, and then the matchups got all mixed up because they had to make an adjustment. So I learned my lesson. Wait for the finalized brackets, then start doing your analysis. So there you go. All right. Okay, Winston. Number one seeds on each side. West will be Huff. They're number one in the RPI. They've been number one in the RPI, and they won their conference. And then on the east side, I'd have to look. I'd have to look and see, because offhand I don't remember what the RPIs were for the East coming into tonight's action. So the other thing to keep in mind is, based off of the projections, those RPIs were used. RPIs that were used in the projections are going to change now because of tonight's action. And remember, in the RPI, it's not only your winning percentage. The team's winning percentage is only 30% of the RPI. It's your opponent's winning percentage, and then your opponent's winning percentage makes up 70% of your RPI. So you may have won tonight, but depending on what your opponents did, and then their opponents, I know it sounds crazy, but that's what we got. Your RPI could go up and down a couple of spots, and that's going to affect, seeding and bracket placement and all that. So, unless you got a clear-cut situation, it's hard to say who's going to be where, because you don't know. It's all about the formula, man. It's all about the formula. So we'll have to sit back and wait and just be patient, once the state goes through that stuff. And yes, Miss Belk, I did see that. We kind of went through that earlier. I think that win solidifies them a playoff spot. And then I think Stuart Kramer should be in too, but we'll see. No problem, Winston. We appreciate you, man. We'll get a little bit Eastern talk in tomorrow on the brackets as well, so stay tuned for that, man. All right, so on behalf of the team, flying solo tonight, Pet Man Matt Morrow. See you guys tomorrow on our bracket show Saturday evening. Once they get finalized, we'll get a time out there, and hopefully we'll see everyone back on the show. Special bracket show Saturday evening with Charlotte Football Siders and CFI. Have a good night, guys.